बाहर नहीं निकल सकते तो क्या हुआ? You can explore India from the comfort of your home with Sony BBC Earth's latest offering, Life Off the Leash, in which hosts and travel junkies Tanveer, Taj and Priyanka Jena sets out on an offbeat road trip with their dogs. Premiering on 31st May at 10 p.m. only on Sony BBC Earth and presented by GoPro. This is going to be one-of-a-kind self-shot travelogue for travel buffs and pet lovers. To talk about some of these unseen places, unscripted stories, and unfiltered adventure, today we have Tanveer and Priyanka. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Apurva.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
So, to begin with, I have a very simple question. How did you travel with your dogs in India?
I mean, it sounds very difficult to do, but I think once you get into it, I think it's pretty simple. And I mean, for a lot of questions that we get asked is, how are your dogs managing on the road, and how difficult is it? But I mean, for us, fairly because both our dogs have been traveling since they were puppies, it has been a way of life in a way, and also India. Like, it's a myth that India is not a pet-friendly country, but in fact, it's quite pet-friendly, especially the rural side of India, because people are so used to having animals around them that they don't mind, opening their doors to a dog. But yeah, it does get a little tricky when you are in smaller towns and cities. Basically, that's where the pet-friendliness. But otherwise, I think dogs are just happy to be with you at all times. So, and they're extremely easy to adjust, so like they're very adjusting, so not an issue to travel with dogs. We haven't faced a lot of it at least.
So, a lot of people with budget constraint also, they have pets and they want to travel with their pets. So is there any challenge on that front? You can take us through how to travel with your pets if there are travel constraints, like budget constraints. Sorry.
I think there are pet-friendly places. I think the best thing to do is to stay in homestays and camp out, camps and stuff like that, and they are not very. Sorry.
Sorry, our cat is.
And those places are way cheaper than like luxury resorts or hotels. So and homestays are easier to stay with pets. So it's easy to find reasonably priced places. If you look on, there are several homestay portals that you can look at, whether it's Airbnb or Booking.com or just do your own research, even if they're not listed anywhere. So most places have websites, so you can call them and ask them that we are coming with our pet, and ask for discounts. That always works. A good chat, at least in India, the whole Indian thing of bargaining works even with homestays.
Yeah, and I think it's important to plan ahead well in advance, because it's not like if you're traveling by yourself, it's easy to just park for the night wherever you can find a hotel to stay at. But with dogs, it's always better to plan slightly ahead when it comes to route and where you're going to stay, etc. Some places, like she said, may not be pet friendly, but if you have a good chat with the owner of the property, they are always happy to make an exception. So yeah, it's basically plan ahead, and when it comes to budgeting, sure. I mean, of course, it's like traveling with kids. Yeah, I mean, traveling with kids also can be a little expensive and stuff, but it's all about the right planning. If you plan ahead well in advance, if you figure out the right place to stay at, then even budgeting is not an issue.
Right, just show the puppy faces. क्या इसको कैसे मना करोगे?
That always works also.
Yeah, we do that. We tend to do that a lot. We send our Instagram link to them and send our photos, and we are like, "Arey, this dog has traveled already so much. हम लोग बॉम्बे से आ रहे हैं, हम लोग already इतना दूर पहुंच गए." So they are like, "Oh wow, we would like to meet these dogs who are so well traveled." That also works.
Puppy face discounts, I guess. But Tanveer, Priyanka, is it sort of I want to also talk about, is it, are you able to travel free of mind around, say, without any sort of like hesitation, or without, constantly being very mindful of where your dogs are, what are they doing? So how does that pan out? Can you also take us through that process once?
uh, I would say you should start traveling with your pet at a very young age, so that your pet is used to the concept of traveling and the concept of being in a car for long hours. And it should be associated with a positive experience. Like, many times what happens is people only take their dogs in the car when they are going to the vet, and most pets develop that association means being in the car means it is a scary experience. You're going to a vet, you're going to get an injection, or you're going to be muzzled for some whatever procedure or something. But the moment you develop that mindset of a pet that okay, gadi mein we are going means we are going to go to some place fun, you're going to get a lot of free place to run around and play, and that makes it easier. If the pet is relaxed, you're also relaxed. That's the main thing. So
Yeah.
and
I think we would be more stressed if our pet was back home and while we are
Yeah.
traveling. So it's more comforting to have your pet beside you when when you're traveling, because that's one of the reasons why we started traveling with our pets as well, because we are both highly into outdoors and travel, and every time we would travel we feel really guilty leaving the dogs behind. So and then when we started traveling with them, it was such a surprise to know how well adapted they were, and they just took on the journey like champs, and it was never a struggle of
Yeah.
sorts, because also they had started young, as she mentioned. But yeah, I think we are there's no real stress as such, except for maybe sometimes when there are some precautionary things that we do when we reach a new place, like scan the area of other dogs and stuff. But for the most part, I think it's a lot of fun to have them with you on these adventures, and to watch them experience new things also gives you a lot of joy. So I think it's a different kind of happiness that you get out of this kind of travel, rather than traveling by yourself.
Yeah.
I know, because a lot. I think this is a common problem with all the pet parents, is because people do cancel their trips and cancel their plans left and right, including me. So I also have a dog, but I remember not traveling anywhere in 2 years of my stay in Bangalore. Not even anywhere around, because like how I had no idea on how to like travel with my pet and everything. So that's a major challenge. So this comes across as a great breath of fresh air, and a lot of hope that you can actually travel with your dogs in India especially.
Yeah.
So can you also talk about some of the myths, the travel myths that are there, traveling with your pet, especially in India, and just burst them all for all of us people who are not able to travel with our dogs.
I think the first step is to let go of your own anxiety and your own inhibitions, because your animals will really absorb your vibe and energy. So if you're a nervous traveler and you're nervous of taking your dog along, even they would be nervous. But like your pet trusts you blindly with everything, and they'll go with you wherever. So I would say that first do that for yourself, and the next thing is, like I said, you have to start very young. Start at 3-4 months itself, getting the puppy socialized with other human beings, the car, other animals, so that it's a well socialized pet is easy to manage. They are not fearful of many things, because a lot of issues that pet parents face is that their dog is scared of many different things. It can be whether it's fear of water, or fear of the car, or fear of other strays and stuff like that. Yes, you have to, of course, pay extra attention to know that your pet is safe, and keep an eye out at all times where he or she is going, and if he's eating something that he's not supposed to eat, stuff like that. Yes, that extra effort is there, but that is like similar to traveling with young kids. I would say, traveling with younger kids, I would say is more difficult than traveling with pets. At least pets thoda sun lete hai baat.
But I think that's a myth that you asked. The question was about myths, right? So that is a myth that a lot of young pet parents are think that they should not travel with their pups until they are 6 months old. That's a big myth in India that
Take them out of the house.
don't take them out of the house, they'll get sick and all. I mean, while it's partially true that you are not, I mean, you obviously have to complete the vaccination dose and everything. But I think like she said, the younger you start with your pet with car training or outdoor training, the better it'll get. So that's, I think, one myth busted. Another myth is that, like I said, India is not a pet-friendly country. This is a big myth. I mean, a lot of people say, "Arey, bahar abroad, it's so pet-friendly. People are allowed to take their pets to, the cafes and train and everything." Well, that's true in India as well. I mean, maybe not in the cities where people are a little restricted in terms of letting dogs inside their properties in the city. But in general, I think India is a very pet-friendly country because a large part of India is the rural side of India and the countryside of India, which people over there are so used to animals being around. They have grown up with dogs, cats, cows, chicken, all of them around their properties, and they don't find it weird that you are bringing two dogs into their homes or into their restaurants and stuff. So throughout this trip, throughout the show also, the audiences will see us traveling through the heartlands of India, through the rural side of India. We've tried to we've avoided city as much as possible. Both of us and our dogs really get cranky in the city, and the whole point of the journey was to get out of the city and experience the beautiful country as it is, and experience all the different terrains. So that's the thing that you will see on the show as well, that you travel through the heartlands of the country. So that's another myth busted, that India is not a pet friendly country. If you plan right and if you know your route well in advance, then it's not a big issue.
Yeah, I think that gives a lot of insight as to how one can travel with their pets outside. मेरा तो सबसे बड़ा challenge ये होता है that even if I take my dog out on walks, there's always like bunch of street dogs trying to attack. So that inhibition is always there. So this is just outside my house. What if I travel with my dog to another city? How am I going to manage? So that concern is.
Yeah, no, that is actually a real issue, to be honest, about the stray dogs. Frankly speaking, I would say that is an experience to experience thing. With our case, both our dogs are very big in size, and there are two of them, so they form a pack together. So most stray dogs are already much smaller in size compared to them. So in that way, we don't have to worry so much about the stray dog situation, because stray dogs only get scared of them.
But you can have indies and travel.
Yes, but you can have indies and travel, and if you have a smaller dog, that is an extra precaution that you have to take to be more protective, of your dog, and maybe
especially smaller dogs are not afraid of bigger dogs.
Yes, that's true.
And also, if you travel outdoors, sure, you'll have a lot stray dogs and stray animals. Street dogs are mainly concentrated in city areas because there's a lot more things to feed on. But the more you go outside the cities, the lesser numbers of stray dogs you'll see. Maybe near the villages and all you'll see, but the great outdoors is a place where you may find stray animals, but you have to just be a little precautious about it. But otherwise, they don't really pose a threat as such.
Yeah.
So just one last thing before I wind this up. A lot of pet parents also have this concern. जिनको ये होता है कि who are constantly on a lookout कि मुंह में क्या डाला, what have you put it in your mouth, even when they're at home. So when you're out there going out, how do you constantly monitor what they put in their mouth? What if they eat something which they're not supposed to? So how do you sort of how does that pan out again?
I would say outdoors, if they are chewing on sticks and leaves and stuff, that is fine. In fact, that's good for their teeth. If they are like chewing on a coconut, husk or branches and stuff, that's in fact good for their teeth. But other than that, if they are going and eating trash, that is something that you have to keep a lookout on, and probably avoid that section of thing. So as a traveling pet parent, I think the number one thing is you have to be extremely vigilant before leaving your dog off leash. Where your area, whether there are the stray dogs, whether there's trash around and stuff like that. So yeah, there is an extra effort that you have to like put in terms of being really
sure. It's not a usual thing to travel with your dog. Obviously it's a very enriching experience, but it does need some sort of guidance in terms of what you need to do, what you should not do. And we've covered all of these points in our series as well. The series not only talks about us traveling across all the different terrains that our beautiful country has to offer, but it also gives an insight on how pet parents like yourself can also get into it. And if you have the right sort of direction, anything can be done. The show is also entirely self-shot, so it is not a produced show in a way that there's a camera crew following you and there's makeup, and it's not a regular travel show. It's more to do with unscripted show, that unscripted travel story as it is. And oh, that was your dog. How cute! Can you see it? Oh my God, it's adorable. What's his name? His
name is Gunda.
What's that?
He's called Gunda.
Gunda.
That's a very cute Gunda, I must say.
That's a very cute Gunda.
So Gunda doesn't take any cognizance of his size, and he goes and he barks at German Shepherds who's like 4 times his size. So I've been wanting to travel with him for a very long time also. So this conversation with you comes in as a very personal sort of like a guide on how I can also travel, and so I can understand firsthand what are the challenges that dog parents in general face before planning out on their travel. End this conversation, if you can take us through how we can watch your adventures, where we can watch your adventures, where we can follow you and everything else.
Right. So you can definitely follow us on Instagram, where we are the most active by the handle Wheels and Tails. We keep putting up regular updates on what we are doing and where we are going and all the fun stuff with our pets. And the show is coming out on 31st May on Sony BBC Earth and at 10 p.m. Monday to Friday. So you can look out for like an 8-episode series and where we are covering all different terrains of India and lots of fun places, not so popular places of India. And the dogs are doing a lot of fun stuff in there.
And it's a very unique perspective about travel in India, because it's through the eyes of our dogs, and we've obviously captured the entire journey using a lot of cameras, and 2 of the cameras are even on Frodo and Cruise, so you'll get to see a lot of different perspective of how India looks through the eyes of a dog. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I encourage all pet parents and travel enthusiasts to tune into the show. It'll be on BBC Earth, and it'll also be on Sony Live in the coming days. So for people who don't have TV, they can tune into Sony Live and catch the show there as well.
Thank you so much, Tanveer and Priyanka, for finding time and talking to us today.
Thank you for having us, Apurva.
Thank you
so much. It was nice chatting with you, and give our love to Gunda.